1969, Pan American World Airways was worth more than most nations. Their fleet crossed 6 continents. Their brand was synonymous with civilization itself. To fly Pan Am was to fly the future. By 1991, they filed for bankruptcy, not restructured, not acquired, liquidated. Every plane, every route, every piece of luggage, sold, gone, like it never existed. You've seen their logo on history's most glamorous aircraft. But Pan Am didn't die because of bad flights. It died because of a fatal misunderstanding of what a business actually is. This is the autopsy. Juan Trippe founded Pan American in 1927. He was 28 years old. He wasn't building an airline. He was building an empire. By the 1930s, Pan Am operated flying boats across the Pacific, routes no government dared to attempt. Trippe negotiated directly with foreign heads of state, not diplomats, heads of state. In 1958, they launched transatlantic jet service, first airline, first in the world. In 1966, Trippe ordered 25 Boeing 747s before the plane existed. A $525 million commitment, roughly $4.6 billion today. The 747 was built for Pan Am, designed around Pan Am's needs. They didn't just shape aviation, they invented modern air travel as a concept. At their peak, Pan Am flew to 86 countries. Their stewardesses were cultural icons. Their terminal at JFK, designed by Gropius, was architecture as mythology. Every traveler with ambition wanted that blue globe on their ticket. Everyone believed, here's where it breaks, Pan Am's fatal flaw wasn't a scandal. It wasn't fraud. It was structural and invisible until it was too late. Trippe's greatest obsession was international routes, glamour, prestige, global reach. What he never built, a domestic network. Every major U.S. competitor, United, American, Delta, had domestic routes feeding passengers into international flights. They had a base, a foundation. Pan Am had none. When the Airline Deregulation Act passed in 1978, prices collapsed overnight. Competition exploded. Suddenly, prestige meant nothing against a cheaper ticket. Pan Am scrambled. In 1985, they acquired National Airlines for $437 million, desperately buying domestic routes they should have built decades earlier. The acquisition nearly bankrupted them before the decade ended. But here's what Pan Am completely missed. The world had changed around them while they were still flying like it was 1962. Then, December 21st, 1988, Lockerbie, Scotland, Pan Am Flight 103 detonated over a quiet town. 270 people died. The bomb had been placed inside checked luggage, a security failure that would define Pan Am's final chapter. The lawsuits were catastrophic. The liability, incalculable. Passenger numbers dropped immediately. Trust, which took 60 years to build, evaporated in weeks. Then came the Gulf War in 1990. Fuel costs spiked. International travel collapsed globally. Pan Am sold their flagship Pacific routes to United for $750 million. Assets worth multiples of that. Simply to survive another quarter, they sold their London Heathrow slots. Gone. They sold the Pan Am building in Manhattan, the one with their name on it, for $400 million. And still, it wasn't enough. On December 4th, 1991, Pan Am filed Chapter 11. Within days, it converted to Chapter 7. Total liquidation. Delta acquired select routes. A few planes transferred. Most were auctioned. The crews, some with 30 years of service, received termination notices on company letterhead. The JFK terminal stood empty. Then it was demolished. The Blue Globe logo, once seen in 86 countries, became a collector's item sold at estate sales. Today, the Pan Am brand exists as a licensed trademark, sold to a company selling retro merchandise, luggage tags, vintage posters. Nostalgia, that is what remains of the airline that invented the modern world. And you know what? They weren't wrong. Technically, they built something genuinely extraordinary. They just built it without a floor beneath it. When the ground shifted, deregulation, terrorism, war, debt, there was nothing to stand on. The flights stopped. The terminals went dark, gone, like it never existed.